Well, hello YouTube, this is Amisbro, and this is the first in a series called RPG Maker Game Samples. This is where we take one game for about 30 minutes, and I show you a sample of it to just see if you get a flavor of it and if you want to play it or not. Now, the story of this game goes that Lord Francisco lived in a place called Fort Adder. Well, this place got overrun by demons, angels, and the like. So, he hired 3 female exorcists. Their names are Argent, she's a war priest. Carmonth, she's an investigator. And Ninjave, she's a specialist. Now, each one of these characters has a special ability. Or especially. For example, Argent, the war priest, is a physical. Carmonth specializes in solar magic, and Ninjave specializes in lunar magic. This actually is very important as you fight different enemies in the game. The game has elements of, say, Shadow of the Colossus, Persona, and Mega Man. And I'll actually show you why in a second. The Shadow of the Colossus element comes because all fights are boss fights. Mega Man because you can actually fight the enemies in any order you so chose. And Persona because Francisco plays the role of Mitsuru from the third Persona game, or Teddy/Kuma from Persona 4. Now, there's a few things you have to look for in this game. One is if you look on the characters' portraits here, you'll notice they have a sanity meter. Well, excuse me, as you use certain attacks, that goes down. If that goes down, there's a greater chance that... Whoops! There's a greater chance... There we go. There's a greater chance that they can get their butts kicked really bad. And of course you have ailments like that really don't help matters. Now, the trick here is to figure out what really harms the enemies. And that can sometimes be tricky, trust me. But that's what you have Francisco for. He's basically your, okay, you kind of need to worry about using this type of thing. Now, I'm hoping I'm going to get to show you more than one fighter. I'm hoping to get into Fort Adder for you in this 30 minutes, but no promises. This is more to show you, just to give you, like I said, a flavor of the game, so you have an idea what to expect if you were to download this game off of the RPG Maker site. By the way, if you see weak point, basically that means the weapon that you would be using would do just that. It would protect. It would basically do more damage to your enemy. Obviously, if you're facing a solar enemy, you want to use Ninjave. If you're facing a lunar enemy, you want Carmonth. And Argent can be used for either. And we should... Now, there's an element of Final Fantasy XIII in this game also, because at any time you can run from a fight. Well, if you do that, you get all your HP back. Oh, and after you kill certain enemies, you also can talk to these little angels here, and you'll pick up certain things. Now, if you get a thing with a sun symbol, well, that's important because that would go to our solar specialist right here, which is Karma. What you would do is you would take that and you would go down to where it says spells and hit BAM. The spells you equip and the gifts you equip are also important in the game. The reason they are is because as you equip them, certain attributes go up and others go down. Obviously, you want more to go up, but that's not always going to be possible. Morbid. Oop. So now we got one for Nina. You're going to want to use these, trust me. But you have to be careful because some will use sanity points. Now, here's a case of where we have two enemies. Well, in this case, you got Argent, who's, let's be fair, not going to be very useful against that thing. So now we have someone like Karmoth here that can actually be very useful against that thing. But in order to do this, we're going to have to use some of her sanity points. Like so. The good news is that it only takes one turn point. So she can use it 3 times, but it's going to cost her 15 sanity. And obviously you would use the Morbid Whim against the solar type enemy. Ooh, that sucked. In case you're wondering, yes, I actually have played this game, so this is not me playing a game blind. Unlike other games, which I will do later in this series. So in case you're wondering how come I know a lot about this game, yes, I have actually played this one before. There will be some, like I said, where I will be going completely blind into them. So, yeah. Oh! Ow. Damn! That'll work. So will that. I love the music in this game, I will tell you that right now. Chris had did a very good job with the music in this game. I'm not ashamed to tell you. So he definitely gives a thumbs up for me on music selection with this game. Whoop! Nope, not yet. Well, we're getting there. Oh crap, we gotta kill this thing like now. We should be getting... We got this thing on the ropes. Booyah! And now we can actually enter the fort. Now let me show you some stuff about this fort right here. The fort, in all respects, is divided up into zones. Oh, in case you're wondering, we did learn a spell, which we're going to give to our War Priest. Whoops. To give you an idea how the zones work, it kind of works something like this. This is the main floor of Fort Adder. Talk to this person right here. Oh yeah, if you get usually a picture of a character, that means that that character is going to get something. Like, oh, that. And as you can see, it affects something on that character's statistic. But what was really neat, and what was a really cool thing they did, was this. Let's put it. You only get four slots each. And every time you beat an enemy, you get something. So, you have to figure out what can mix and match as you move through the game in each of the different zones. That's always something you gotta judge in this game. I also love how the music changes every time you go into a zone. Stay away from you right now. I love how you get like the stat boost in this game. Absolutely love it. Cause trust me, you may think that, oh well, those are insignificant. Yeah, BS. Apparently there are 5 sectors in the Postgate Fort. Adder, Boea, Celsius, Daedra, and Etalon. When the gate was opened in Fort Adder, Etalon was formed first. From there, the rest emerged. I'm just basically showing you around the fort right now. It's basically like one big maze, also figuring out what bosses to kill and what, you know. What area to go visit next. I mean, that's completely up to you, of course. Because, like I said, this game does have that Mega Man element where you can kill the bosses in any order you want. It's just you're going to have the proper weapons to be able to do it. And that's like one of the tricky things about the game. And it's also one of the most beautiful mechanics involved. That's why I said Craze did a hell of a job with this game. And like I said, when I when I get the when I find the name of that other game that he's worked on or is working on, I believe it's called Promising Abyss, but I'm just going to double check myself. And I'll put the proper name, and I'll put the link to the gameplay video in the description here, so you can have a look at it. Ew. Damn. You gotta love how, like, they'll give you, like, 6 enemies to fight, and you gotta figure out how to kill them all. Well, that sucked. Yeah, that's the best part about this place. That's one thing I've neglected to mention so far. All these things you're fighting are subjects of Lord Francisco. Oops! Oh! Hey now. Oh, you suck. Man, I'm loving it. What sucks is, like, they give you, like, sometimes they'll give you, like, a boss fight. And it's like one of those situations where they give you a, yeah, just make my life miserable, why don't you? Ugh. Damn! Yeah, that did a whole lot of good now, didn't it? Sit down. Now, here's one of the advantages to this game. Watch this. And then watch this. Basically, everybody's alive now. That's one of like the beautiful things about the game. Hey, I'm getting my butt kicked. Run! Absolutely something that I think needed to be put in the game, because otherwise the game would just be, I don't want to say impossible, but it would definitely be one of those things where you really would have a harder time getting through it. And Nina Vey been gifted with the Dedrick and Walsh. Whoops. You gotta love how like grisly this place looks too. Well, actually don't look too bad here. But like when you go up to like some of the other sectors or zones or whatever you want to call them, you start to notice that this person knew what the hell they were doing when they made it. Here we go. This one is, I believe, the one they call Celsius. The ice zone. Huh. Yeah, that helps. Boom, boom, boom. Hello. You think? Christ, dude, what'd you do to piss these people off? That helps. Adds 5 vitality each winner score. That'll help. The soundtrack for this level is really nice. Like, I'm really digging it. It wasn't this sector, but in the first sector we were in, I actually was able to beat like one of the really big bosses at one point. That was sweet. I ain't gonna lie. Like on my crowning achievements list, that's like right up there. Let me tell you. Whoop. Where are we going, Josh? We only got 6 minutes to do. I don't know where we're going. I think we're just walking around. Just kind of touring the place. This game does have one minor problem. There was a glitch that was found in the game. Apparently, if you fought this one enemy and you used certain skills against it, you could harm it, but it would also harm one of your characters. What would end up happening is the game would crash, and then you'd have to restart the fight over again if the character died. Kind of infuriating, but at the same time, I could live with it a little bit. But it was just one of those things where you had to make sure you like saved before you got to that fight, because you didn't want to get there and then have to like redo everything all over again. You know? Kind of one of those things that'll just drive you nuts. Here's another one of those angels, and this one increases some health. Let's do one more fight for a couple more minutes. Of course I picked this one, right? And I've never won it. Ew. And no, I have no clue what things kill these things. I wish I did, but I don't. Well, I have an idea with it. Boom, boom, boom. Not that that's going to do me a whole lot of good here. Ow. Oh, yeah, let's just blind her. Son of a bitch. Ugh. Yeah, I run a lot from these things. Basically, it's like, if I know I have no chance of winning, run! That's like my best piece of advice I can ever give you for this game. If you think you're not going to win a fight, or you can't win a fight, run. Best thing you can do. Literally. Oh, loving it. Few more windows. That didn't do any good now, didn't it? I don't know. Oh, you suck. Ow. Man, you really suck. What'd I do to you? Okay. Hopefully we knock out the poison one. Nope. Damn it. Son of a... Well, I'll tell you what. That will do it for this episode of RPG Maker Game Samples. Again, this game was made by YouTuber CrazeTax. And I will have a link in the description to that channel and to the other gameplay of another game this person is working on. This was the runner-up in the All Hallows Eve last year. That contest for RPG Maker. I do hope you check this game out because it's a hell of a lot of fun. And until then, my friends, I will see you in the next episode. next Tuesday. Alrighty? You have a good night and take care. Bye-bye.